Thank you.
So we have a guest coming on with us now. Her name is LaNelle. She is also from the DFW area, and she runs a really interesting company. Let's see if we can bring her on. Where'd she go? Here she comes. Hey,
Hello.
LaNelle. Oh, you're on
What?
mute. You got to unmute yourself. It's okay. We've all had. There you are.
Need to get it together, right? How we
Oh, Lordy.
doing?
Good. Good. Good, good. And by the way, you made my morning this morning with your turtle video. I just had to
Oh,
tell you that. It was
oh my goodness. I don't
so
know.
cute.
Animals, nature loves me. It
It's
finds me, it gravitates towards me. I don't care what it is. Okay.
it's true. I actually I met LaNelle years ago. I helped put on an event manage an event called Pitbull Pride in Dallas, Texas, and LaNelle was there, and she and her company had very generously donated one of the prizes for one of
Hmm.
the events that we had in the competitions. And I met her, and I had a dog at the time that was a rescue, and she'd had a bad life. It was not good. And she was still very much afraid of everybody. Walked right up and plopped down by LaNelle, like, hi. Like, what you doing
My
over there?
friends
So
call
that's
me the
very,
nature
very true.
whisperer, and I see stuff that they wouldn't even imagine. If it's a walking stick, if it's a praying mantis, I don't care what it is. I'm
Hmm.
the first always to spot it if we're outside. So I don't know.
I
It's
love it. Nature just wants to talk to you. They just want to go, hey, what's going
yeah,
on?
I'll take it.
There's worse skills to have. I think
Right.
that kind of makes you a Disney princess. I think. I
You know
think.
what? Okay, that's my takeaway. I'm a
I
princess.
think I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. Yeah, that's my niece is that way, and that's what we call her. We call her our little Disney princess. So I wanted to try to talk about. So first of all, tell us about Divine and what you do.
Okay, well, divine events, I felt like came to me at a time that I was kind of transitioning out of an accounting world and just wanted to do something that was, that I just love to do and helping people create memories,
Hmm.
doing things for people. That's just who I am. And so as I was praying about it, I thought, well, you're always planning events on an amateur level. Why don't you
Right.
take that over, and see if you can make a living doing it? You love to do it.
Yeah.
So that's where divine came from. I just took the whys, obviously, and replaced the I's in that because I felt like that was my divine moment to change my life. And there you have it. That's how Divine Events was born.
It's and it's a cool company. It's kind of a unique event company. And by the way, I've actually seen LaNelle's work. And she helped a friend of mine with her wedding, so I can personally vouch for the quality.
Thank you.
Um, but you guys, do you still do the date night scenario? That was my favorite product that you did. I thought that was so unique and so cool.
Yes. My thought process behind bringing in some things that were a little bit different is because obviously I went out and looked at a lot of other event planning companies around the area and just wanted to see, what would really kind of set us apart, make us a
Right.
little different. So my husband and I, who are both a part of the marriage ministry, decided to
Hmm.
come up with a package that's an in-home candlelight dinner package.
Right.
And at the time, you're thinking there are some people that don't always want to get out. We know how busy Dallas can be.
Oh yes.
So, sometimes just for something a little different, I thought, why don't we bring that five-star experience to the home?
Hmm.
That way people don't always have to get out there and fight the traffic or the crowds. It turned out to be a great thing. People loved it. It took off, and we actually did that quite a bit before I started getting into
Right.
the bigger things like weddings and just kind of keeping it small scale. Yep.
I thought that was the coolest thing in the world that you thought of. It's such an intimate thing. And Dan talked or spoke earlier in the event about how important it is to him to be a good husband and to actually take steps towards being a better husband and how he
Mhm.
puts that in his goals. And so first of all, Dan, so you need to hit this lady up over here.
I'll take care of you. I will definitely take care of you. You'll have big kudos by the time it's all over with. I promise.
Trust
Listen,
me.
we need something like that more now than ever. I'll tell you what. I mean,
And that's what I was going to say. I mean, have you gotten that kind of request right now? I'm curious. or have people been like, ooh, there's still people coming in my house? I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't, and I think probably because at one point we were on such a lockdown situation. I don't think anybody was
Right.
thinking about any of that at all.
Oh, that's
Most
true.
everybody was staying in and they're cooking, hoping to see as it, gets a little bit more now, it's kind of getting more casual and relaxed that, people do start. I had stopped even kind of promoting it. I'll be honest,
Right.
because I was wondering myself, where does my business go from here?
Sure.
Right. Good
Like
grief.
I
Yes.
do weddings. I've done international events that have drawn 300 to 400 people.
Mhm.
Now we're not able to congregate. So I got a little sad about that. I thought, what's
Right.
going to happen to event planning? And
Right.
so just when I thought, well, maybe I'm just done, on that
Mm.
scale, and thank God I have some other streams of income and, other things I'm
Right.
involved in. It really occurred to me that would still be something that would be really a great idea for people. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously we'd be making sure that we're safeguarding,
Oh, yes.
and that sort of thing. But you're right. I think that that package really would benefit a lot of people who are still kind of wanting to stay in.
Right. And also just to bring the intimacy back. So, right, but when you get out of a
Yes.
stressful situation, you tend to have forgotten that aspect of your life and that joy that you get from that other person. And
Yeah.
it's so important to reconnect. And even carrying that into the professional element,
Mhm.
if things aren't right at home, and this is true, I've worked with, thousands of people, and I've done a lot of recruiting, and I've consulted and all this. If home's not right, work's not right. And people go, I
Yeah.
can leave it at home. I can always tell. I can always tell. And I'm pretty good about I can put on a face and all that, but the people that really know me and that are they'll still go, you're moving a little slower, you're being a little weird, or you're not interacting the same way. And that's what it is. So I think that connection is really important. So when you're going through so right now, as you're looking at marketing again, because we were talking about this earlier, that
Yep.
the cold sales pitch is just right now,
Mhm,
everything that's
mhm.
gone on. Nobody wants that.
Right.
What are you going to do to market and that type of thing and to promote the company?
Well, at one point, obviously myself and the few team members that I had was just 5 of us, so we're a small team.
Yeah.
We were able to do a lot of the promotions, marketing, and that sort of thing. So, it wasn't something I had to necessarily outsource, but I have even been
Right.
considering that because I feel like COVID is changing everything so much.
Mhm.
I may need to go speak with someone who's professional in that lane just to see, because they're the pros. I'm not
Mhm.
Yes.
necessarily someone who knows marketing firsthand. So speaking with them to find out what they really think is the best angle is
Right.
probably what I'm contemplating doing next. Now, I did
Okay.
decide to also implement a couple of other things. I'll share with you all later some beautiful outdoor settings
Oh,
that are going to
Ooh.
be really marvelous. That way, if they're going to take it to the park or whatever, they can still call us to come out there and set up a
Oh,
very
that's
beautiful
cool. I
scenario
like that.
in the afternoon. So got a little few tricks up, up my sleeve. Hoping we'll do what we need to have done. We'll keep you posted on that for sure.
That's awesome. And what about people that are looking to start a business, right? So we talked about this yesterday. We had on some entrepreneurs, and we talked about what it's really like, because everybody
huh.
goes, "Oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be a business owner." You think that in your mind until you do
Yes, yes,
it.
a lot of research. That's what I'm gonna tell you and would be my best advice because I'm gonna tell you I just leaped out there. I didn't do it. So and that's I mean a good thing as in a faith walk, but at the
Right.
same time, there's things that you definitely need to know if you want your business to be
Right.
successful. You and honestly, I literally leaped. So if it
Mhm.
wasn't for a couple of just blessed scenarios that might not happen for everybody, like my opportunity to work with Steve and Marjorie Harvey, or
Mhm.
some of the other things that I accomplished in such a short period of time, who's to say? That
Yeah.
was exposure that I didn't expect to happen. So that was lucky,
It's
but
it's
research.
true, and I've got to say too. I think you actually embody this characteristic better than anybody else. The number one key component to being an entrepreneur is is that you have to have the indomitable spirit, right? Where you nothing is going to beat you down. And LaNelle, I will say, nobody stays positive and loving and caring and has that mindset better than you, I think. And nobody's perfect, right? But you keep that mentality. And how do you, on those bad days when everything is just knocking up against you and all, and you just, how do you keep going? Because you have those days like where you do an event and it rains you out, or it, or whatever. We've been there. So, and I used to do events, so I kind of know a little bit about that. How do you get through that?
My goal in the end is to satisfy my client. I don't want people to be customers. I want them to be clients, and I want them to know my spirit and know that, I'm here long term to make sure that the things that you want to implement with your family are taken care of, and a lot of times I think we can gloss over what someone else is trying to do. And that's a problem because it's important to you. This is a moment that you might not be able to get back.
Right.
So I just keep and continue to remind myself that whatever it is, and I've been through some other things in life. So, whatever it is really not that bad. It's clearly about communication and just talking to each other and getting through it. So that's where that continued positivity comes from.
I love what you said, LaNelle, about the leaping, right? You kind of said that maybe you were, and I'm paraphrasing here, but maybe you were a little bit of ready, fire, aim. But I kind of tend to side more with the ready, aim, fire side, right? But, I think the important component of what you said is that you leaped, right? At some point you have to leap. At some point you have to. If it's early on and then you figure things out as you go along, that's one way. Or if it's you try to line everything up, listen, you're still going to have to figure things out after you leap.
Oh yeah. You're going to think you have it all together. No.
It's just at what point are you going to actually leap? I love that message. And then one other thing you said there, LaNelle, that I wrote down actually is that, and you kind of said it pretty quick, but I heard it and it hit me, is I want people to know my spirit.
Yes.
That is such an interesting statement that I'd love for you to unpack a little bit for us and what that means for you and your business.
Everything is so drive-by. I feel everything is so rushed. They're super busy. So I have to think about, the time that I take in doing the things for the clients that actually want to hire me. If I come in there and I do this rush job, obviously it's going to be probably not up to standards. And I have certain standards. So if I want somebody to make sure that they're taking care of my, whatever it is I'm asking, then I need to deliver that as well. So like she said, I guess that sunny disposition is there. Not everybody is set out to just get your money or just, treat you any kind of way. There are business owners out here who really care about what they do. And I try to convey that from the moment that we consult, because they'll call me and say what they're interested in doing till, we're cleaning up and putting decor away. So that's just my biggest thing, just being good to people. And it's something ingrained too. This doesn't come in having a business. That's something that's just ingrained. You're either going to treat people with respect or you're going to, you're not going to have clients.
Right. So. And I will say too, and you've worked with people with all levels of budgets, right? Yeah. You've done like barely have money, but we really need help level of budget, all the way up to nice, grand, like you said, international style events. And I can personally say, because I've seen it, you treat the little guy the exact same
people
as that big guy. Yeah.
Some of us have, been blessed enough to do some extraordinary big things that have put us in upper echelon groups or higher tax brackets. But in the end, we are all people. We all deserve the same respect. So that's just how it is.
100%.
What a great message.
And I spoke earlier about keeping ethics in the business. So you're very much tying into that, because it's as you grow, and this, as you grow in a company, because you were in the workforce before you started this, it's so easy to lose that. It's so easy to lose that perspective and that mentality, and remembering to be grateful and remembering to treat people as people first, right? Hiring made human. We keep talking about that, treat people as people, be empathetic.
Yes.
And share the human experience together. That's so very, very critical. The last thing I really wanted to ask you about is, how do you keep your focus when there are outside distractions. And this is so relevant right now. I mean, everything political, and we've had COVID, and you might have health problems, you might have family distractions, you never know somebody's personal situation, but how do you block that out and still keep going with your business?
I mean, everything that you just mentioned, from health issues to, like you said, COVID to political. I mean, it's everywhere you look. But I learned something with one of my former employers, and it was a concept called "be here now." See, if I'm not here in this exact moment, focusing on this particular conversation, my mind is all over the place. I can't answer you effectively, because I've got all of these things in the background, and I'm not going to say those things won't be there when you're done.
Right.
But one thing at a time. We get so overwhelmed with everything when it's just bombarding us.
Yeah.
It's just bombarding us. So be here now was a concept that not only did that former employer train us on, but it was something that we could take into our life skills. You want to be attentive. You need to be in that exact moment at that time.
Well, I can tell. I know that the other thing I wrote down that you said, LaNelle, was don't gloss over what they're telling you. Don't gloss over what their priorities are. And that what you just said speaks to that directly. Like, be here now means understanding what's happening with the person that you're working with, understanding them and helping them and providing solutions for them, and just not just immediately going to a solution, but really understanding where they're at. And I have no doubt that I mean, whatever's get thrown at you, you're going to figure it out and you're going to be successful. I mean, with that attitude and that mindset,
I'm sure. Let me tell you, I met LaNelle for the first time, and I as part of my recruiter brain, as I call it, there's certain just things that I pick up, and the first thing I can pick up on in somebody is, well, two things: their energy and their potential. Absolutely. And when I very first met LaNelle, it was like, if those people say they see auras, which like this light just went on. It was like, there you go, a really unique, very interesting person. So I've stayed in contact with her over the years. But LaNelle, thank you so very much for coming on. You've been a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. Thank
You're so welcome. And again, Dan, if you need me, you just let me know. It's amazing to see the response. It's amazing to see the response. Surprise takes place, and even for the women who surprise their husbands, or vice versa, it's amazing, the response. So let me know if you need me. I'm here.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, you really should. And it's a really cool thing that she does. So all right, LaNelle, have a wonderful day. And if anybody wants to get in touch with LaNelle, look up Divine. There goes her website down there at the bottom. Reach out to her if you have needs. Absolutely.
Thank you so very much. You all have a good day.
You too.
Bye.